Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on Hypixel Skyblock, and today I'm going to show you guys how you can make money with Mayor Aatrox. Mayor Aatrox can make you millions of coins. I've talked about him a lot in the past just because he's really helpful and he's one of my favorite mayors, especially since I don't particularly love doing slayers, and I think lots of people agree with me. Some people really love them, but it's a lot of doing the same repetitive task over and over again, which can get tiring. Thankfully, Aatrox speeds all of that up and makes it a lot better. So let's take a look at Aatrox's perks and how he can make you millions of coins. So today Mayor Aatrox has two perks: Slayer XP buff, which makes you earn 25% more Slayer XP, and Pathfinder, which helps you gain rare drops 20% more often. He does actually have another perk, which is slashed pricing, and that would actually be really useful because that makes Slayer costs half the price to start. But unfortunately he doesn't have that now, but you can still make a lot of money during Aatrox. Thankfully, the perks that will make you the most money, particularly Pathfinder, that's still there, so you should still be able to make a ton of coins. Before we get into the video, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel. Every little bit really helps, and I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, which is a big milestone on YouTube just because it's a cool number to have, and I'd really appreciate having it. So if you wouldn't mind, please consider subscribing. So let's get into the video. Something I've failed to cover in previous videos is which Slayer should you grind. All the Slayers provide different perks as to why you should grind them, but there are different Slayers and they have very different perks. So the one that I recommend the most, specifically for me because I'm not very good at it, is Void Gloom Seraph. So Void Gloom Seraph is the one that has the most potential to make money, but it's also the hardest. So the tier 4 one gives you the chance to drop the Judgment Core, which you can use to craft the Terminator, but it's very, very, very hard to do, and I can't do it, and I know most of my audience probably can't either, which makes it pretty hard to make the most profit. But I would recommend especially doing lower level ones just so you can get it leveled up, because at level 3 you are able to use the Juju Bow, which is very helpful, or if you want some of the other things that you can get from Enderman Slayer, there's a lot of useful things that you can unlock with it. That, I mean, it's just nice to have it leveled up even like a little bit to 1, 2, or 3, even if you're not going to go all the way, because honestly, it's really hard. But the one that is slightly more achievable for most people, but also still makes a lot of money, is Revenant Tier 5. With Revenant Tier 5, you have the chance to drop the Warden Heart, which makes a lot of coins. You'll see lowest bin is 209 million coins, and that's because it is used to craft the Warden Helmet, which makes a lot of money. Same with the Shard. The Shredded is not as good, but still pretty good because you can use it to drop the aspect of the Shredded. So that is some ways that you can make money with the Revenant Tier 5, because it's really great, and you still get a bunch of XP, and it's way, way easier than Enderman Tier 4, even though it is technically a higher tier. So that's probably the most money and the most XP, because, I mean, it's got 1,875 versus 625. So you are getting the most money and the most XP from that, but it is still pretty hard. One that I would recommend that's easier is actually the Tarantula Tier 4. That one is pretty fast. You can actually get it done really easily because, I mean, there's tons of spiders in the spider's den. Like, if we go over to the spider's den, you'll be able to see there's a ton of spiders over here, particularly if you go down into this cave. You'll be able to see that you can literally just smash out spiders really, really easily, because there's just an absolute ton of them here, and that can make doing spider slayers really easy and really, really fast. And it also has a lot more guaranteed money, but not as much potential for earning tons of coins, because you can drop the Toxic Arrow Poison, which is pretty common and does sell to the NPC or the auction house for a decent amount of just consistent money that you're earning while doing it, which makes it, especially during Aatrox, a decent chance to just be slightly profitable to do the Spider Slayers, or at least not costing you tons of coins like some of these other ones might if you don't end up getting an RNG drop. So if you're always the person complaining that your RNG is terrible, Tarantula Slayers might be the right ones to grind. You might make a little bit of money, and you're gaining a lot of combat XP and stuff like that in the process. Sven Slayers also make pretty good money, mostly because of the Overflux drop and stuff like that, just because you can make a ton of money doing that, and those still go for a lot of money on the auction house. Like, if we look up the power orbs, like the Overflux, you'll see that the Overflux capacitor still is going for like 65 million coins, 62 million coins. And it's just still pretty profitable. It has been for a long time, but it's more in the mid-range of being hard and not nearly as hard as Enderman Slayer 4, but it's kind of like the third most profitable Slayer, So unless you really want to level it up for your power-ups, there's really not that much of a reason to grind it. One other thing that I recommend, even if you don't want to be doing these high-level tier 4 drops, if you're more of a mid-game player or early game player, just grind some Slayers, and hopefully over time that will make you better at them and more able to take on these higher level bosses, which means next time you will be able to make lots of money. So I just highly recommend at least getting a start on it if you can. This is also like the perfect time to work on any major Slayer grinds that you might have. Like a lot of people are working on grinding for the Juju bow or working on grinding for the new Terminator actual requirement, since they did change it that you actually do need to have those requirements now, which has caused a lot of Terminators to flood the market. So if you actually want to get those requirements, now is probably the time to do it, because it will be easier and you're just getting more XP for the same amount of coins. Unfortunately, slash pricing isn't here. This is when slash pricing is really helpful. So if you're watching this for a future Aatrox that is not the one that is happening right now on August 29th, then you can work on that and it actually will be even more profitable. So I recommend just working on any major Slayer grinds, like those Enderman Slayer grinds. It's just a great time to start doing all of that. And of course, the next thing I'm going to talk about, which I talk about every time there's mayors, is flipping during Aatrox. You can make a lot of money with the products of Slayers, which go down in price during the Slayers themselves. So stuff like Revenant Bazaar goes down during Aatrox because there's just more people. There's just more people buying it, especially stuff like the wolf teeth and stuff like that can really go down. Yeah, like you'll see it's down a decent amount. So whenever prices are really down like this on the Bazaar, especially for Slayer drops, what you want to do is buy a lot of them because people still need them after Aatrox has already ended, and people tend to just insta-sell a lot of these cheaper drops like wolf teeth and Revenant Flesh, just because it's really not worth them putting up a sell offer, some people feel. So make a buy offer, snatch up a bunch of those at a cheaper price, and then after Aatrox has ended, resell them with a sell order to people that need to buy them with buy instantly, so they can upgrade all their Slayer tools and armor after Aatrox has ended, because people wait until after that, because now they have the Rex that they just grinded out and stuff like that. So you can actually make a lot of money by just keeping and holding the items for a little while to a couple days after Aatrox's Mayor. People have seen huge success making money like this. I've actually had success with it before, and I highly recommend you trying it out because it's just a great profitable way to make some easy money. Even though it's not the most profitable flipping strategy, it's just pretty good guaranteed money. We've seen a lot of evidence in the past that it does actually work, and as long as the admins don't change anything, like right after Aatrox, you should be able to get your monies back, and hopefully more. So thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.